This is Dory. Everybody knows Dory, right? She's everybody's favorite cute blue fish in Finding Nemo. Yeah. Everybody likes Dory. And I think the reason everybody likes Dory is because she's relatable. We're all a lot like Dory in two pretty big ways. Just like Dory, we all have adorably short attention spans. It's true. In 2000, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. In 2015, it had dropped to 8.25 seconds, 8.25 seconds. For a little bit of context, the average attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. Just like Dory, we're not very good at concentrating. And just like Dory, we all suffer from a touch of memory loss. Hate to break it to you. Just like Dory, you know, Dory's probably one of her biggest traits is her short-term memory loss. Yours isn't quite as bad, but it's definitely there. The thing is, we weren't always this much like Dory. We used to be a lot more like Marlin, Nemo's dad. We could actually concentrate and remember things. But in the last 20, 30 years or so, we've started to become a lot more Dory-esque. And there's a reason for that. And it has to do with the explosion of digital technology and this concept called neuroplasticity. It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's just the idea that your brain is adaptable. It can change and reorganize itself. Because your brain is made up of around 21 billion brain cells, or neurons, and they make all sorts of connections between each other. That's how you think. And every time you experience something, those connections change a little bit. And that's what lets you learn. Like, let's say I'm walking down the street and I run into somebody walking their dog, and it's a cute, cuddly little thing, and I stop to pet it. Then my brain reinforces the connection that, oh, dogs are cute, and they're nice, I don't have to be scared of dogs. But if I'm walking down the street and I walk past somebody's house and there's this Rottweiler out in the front yard, and it's barking, it's growling, it's lunging at me, and I'm kind of freaked out, then my brain makes the connection, you know what, dogs are scary, I need to be a little careful around dogs from now on. That's the idea of neuroplasticity, is that your brain can change depending on the experiences you have. But what that means is every time you interact with a piece of technology, whether it's your phone or your computer or whatever, your brain changes a little bit. And what digital technology does is it promotes multitasking. It encourages you to multitask, to refocus your attention between things, you know? Like you're sitting down at your desk writing something, then you check your phone, and then you go back to writing, and then you reply to an email, and then you go back to writing. You're getting a lot more practice shifting your attention than you would have 20 or 30 years ago before digital technology became such a big thing. And your brain is like a muscle. It changes, and the more you use it, the better it gets, the stronger it gets, and the less you use it, the weaker it gets. So all this practice of reshifting your attention means that you have gotten really good at multitasking, but at the expense of your ability to concentrate. And the same thing kind of happens to your memory, too. Has happened, is happening. If you don't use it, you lose it. Humans have this process called transactive memory. And again, it sounds fancy. It's pretty simple. It's just the idea that if I don't know something, I can ask somebody who does know that thing, and they'll be able to tell me. I don't know very much about the TV show Doctor Who, but my friend Ben does. So if I need to know this Doctor Who factoid or tidbit, I can ask Ben, and odds are he'll be able to tell me it. And vice versa. If Ben needs to know something that I know, he can ask me and I can tell him. That's the idea behind transactive memory, is that if everybody in a social group, no matter how big that social group is, whether it's me and Ben or me and my family or me and all of my friends, if everybody in that group is responsible for remembering only a part of the information, then everybody in the group has access to all of the information, which is a lot more than any of them could remember by themselves. That's for all you visual learners in case you wanted to read it. Traditionally, humans used each other as transactive memory partners. We would rely on each other to remember things. But since digital memory has become so readily available, we've started to rely on computers and the internet as transactive memory partners, which is kind of cool. But the thing is, computers are better at remembering than humans. A, they don't forget things, and B, they know almost everything thanks to the internet. So what that means is every time you use a computer as a transactive memory partner, it's like you're interacting with this super person, somebody who's so good at remembering you can't even comprehend it. And that's a different experience than the one you would have had 20, 30 years ago when you were mostly having transactive memory processes with other people. It's a different experience, which means your brain reacts to it differently and has changed because of that. And here's how it's changed. And a study was actually done on this. What they found is that if you use a computer as a transactive memory partner, you actually get a little bit worse at remembering that information, which makes sense. That's what transactive memory partners do. Let's say I'm given a list of facts to read, and I'm asked to remember as many of them as possible. If I copy that list of facts into a computer first, I will remember less of them, because by copying them into the computer, I'm establishing the computer as a transactive memory partner. So I subconsciously go, oh, hey, it's remembering it for me. I don't need to, and then I forget some of them. The thing is, that will happen whether or not I'm trying to remember the facts. The subconscious drive for me to rely on that computer to remember part of the information for me is so strong that it's overpowering my conscious effort to remember. Every time a computer is involved in a transactive memory process with you, it induces a little bit of memory loss on that subject. It sounds kind of scary, right? It's like, I don't want to be like Dora anymore. I thought this was going to be a cute presentation. Don't worry. All I can say is this. As long as we as humans keep using technology, our brains are going to keep changing, keep adapting to it. And that's not good or bad. It just is. It's a fact of our lives at this moment. But I don't think it's a fact you should ignore. Because if you ignore it, but you continue to use tech, you won't have any say in how it may or may not change you. You'll just be going along for the ride, whether you like it or not. And the whole reason I've been telling you this, sharing this information with you, telling you how and why technology can influence you, is so that you can accept it and do something about it. Because once you accept that knowledge, you can start to ask yourself questions, say things to yourself like, you know what, self? I'm going to retrain myself to concentrate. Because you can do that. If not practicing your concentration has made you worse at it, then if you practice it, you'll get better. Or maybe you'll say to yourself, you know what, self? I'm going to embrace that short attention span and become this multitasking machine. And that's a perfectly valid option. But most importantly, you've chosen which path you wanted to pursue. Let's be honest here. We're all like Dory, and technology has made us so. You're all like Dory. And what that means is you probably haven't been able to pay attention to most of my talk. Just do this one thing for me. Accept the knowledge I've given you. Don't panic when you think about it. Just accept it. But then use it. Decide on your course of action. Take a deep breath and follow it. And even if the going gets tough or weird or scary, don't panic and just keep swimming. Thank you.